Alright, hi everyone. I came across Kim Kardashian on Jimmy Fallon and I really loved her makeup. It's a really beautiful, like, dusky rose, 90s inspired glam. Shimmer is something that I do quite a lot of, so it's really nice to not have any shimmer, not have any gloss, and just do a makeup that's like super 90s matte glam supermodel. Amazing. This is Zia, my beautiful model today, and this is our look, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So I'm just going to talk you through what I've done on the skin so far. So I prepped Zia's skin with lots of hydrating products. So I used Radiance Primer by MAC. And then the foundation I used is Studio Water Weight Foundation. So the skin look that I'm doing today is really, really matte, but I didn't want her to look super powdery. So I've done really glowy products and then put some powder over the top so that we get a look that's not too chalky. It's still really healthy. For contour and highlight, I used, this is a Per Cosmetics cream contour and highlight stick. So I brightened around underneath the eyes and then I contoured using the deeper shade, so around the forehead, through the cheekbones, and just a little bit underneath the chin area as well. So just while I'm prepping the eyelid for eyeshadow, I wanted to talk to you about the style of makeup that we're doing today. As I mentioned before, I really was inspired by Kim's makeup when she was on Jimmy Fallon. And what I loved about it was the shape of the eye makeup. So it was definitely not quite a winged eye makeup that went out. It more sort of lifted up, almost like a bit of an egg shape. So I'm just setting the eyeshadow with, the concealer or the eyeshadow base with Laura Mercier translucent powder. I find that this just makes the eyeshadow blend so much easier. And this is our eyeshadow palette today. So I've taken a few of the eyeshadows out of my 15 palette, and I've just slotted them in here so it's nice and easy for you to see. The beauty of this eye makeup is that the like rusty kind of burnt rose tones that it had. So I've got a mix of MAC and Morphe eyeshadows here, and a mixture of browns. So this is Brown Down, and this is Texture. So these two are MAC ones here, and Swiss Chocolate as well. So some regular shades of terracotta-y, kind of browny shades. But then I've got a really beautiful burgundy shade here as well. So this is what's going to make the eye makeup look a little bit different, and just give us that rose look that I was talking about. And I'm mixing this beautiful dusky rose shade and the terracotta shade together, and just with Zia's eyes open, I'm starting to map out the shape. I'm taking the eyeshadow a little higher, and this is what's going to give us that kind of egg shape. I'm not really sure how else to describe it, but we'll go with egg. And then, so just for the inner corner of the eye, the smaller brush is just working a little better. Give us more of a tapered look. So the smaller brush fits really beautifully underneath too. So I'm going to start building up a little bit of colour with the burgundy shade, and I'm going to find a brush that's somewhere in between these two. I'll go with the 217 brush by MAC because it's a nice, if you have a look at the three, they fit really nicely in between. So you've got a larger one, a medium, and then a small size brush as well. So just through the crease of the eye, this is a Morphe eyeshadow, so I find them really beautiful and pigmented. So you just need a tiny amount, and I'm going back and forth, starting in the outer corner of the eye and blending inwards. So even though the shadow looks quite dark in the packaging, when you use a soft and fluffy brush and when it's really, really blended out, you kind of keep buffing and buffing, it starts to go a little bit more pinky. So this is how we're going to get the colour that we're after. So in terms of the application, it's exactly the same place that we did the lighter eyeshadow. So It's always a good idea to start with softer shadows and then build them up. Now you can see the makeup is starting to look quite rosy, which is great, but we want to add in that kind of 90s brown smokiness again. So I'm going to use Swiss chocolate here. And what's really great about this eyeshadow is that it's quite a red brown, so it's going to tie into the makeup really well. So I'm just flicking between the smaller brush and then the softer, fluffier brush. So still leaving the eyelid really bare because I'll go back and put some, like a lighter shade there too. We're going to take the dark brown now, and I'm using a smaller pencil brush. With the eyes open, just deepening the very outer corner. And then I'm going to press that shadow just in the very outer corner. Really want to get very close to the lash line, nice and deep. So this is a beautiful flat, fine tipped brush that just hugs under the lashes really, really nicely. And then I'll go back to my pencil brush and just blend that out. So if you're wanting to keep your eyelids looking nice and bright, mid-tone matte eyeshadows and light matte eyeshadows work really well for this, especially in contrast to the darker shades that we've done. So I'm just pressing all across the eyelid the two mid-tone eyeshadows, and then right in the very inner corner of the eye I'm using the lightest shade to really brighten that inner center part of the eye there. So the blush I'm using is a MAC one. It's a really beautiful, like, burnt kind of dusky rose colour. So again, really perfect for the 90s kind of glam that we're going for. So I'm just going to apply the blush sort of over the contour, a little bit on the blush, sorry, on the cheeks as well.
Do you need me to smile? I'm just like caking it.
So when it comes to blush, I'm putting blush on a little bit closer to the cheekbone, so don't really need to smile too much with this one, but if we were going for more of like a kind of cutesy blush look, then you would absolutely, like, smiling would be, yeah, like that would be perfect. But this is more of sort of along the cheekbone because it's not too much of a blushy kind of colour, so I want it to look more contoured. For lips, I'm going to use a darker lip pencil, so I really want to recreate the lip look that Kim was wearing as well. I think that's so beautiful, and recently I've actually had quite a few people ask me if they can sort of define the lip line a little bit more, and Plum lip pencil is a really, really good one for that. So first, to keep the lip line as defined and as sharp as possible, you want to make sure that your pencil isn't blunt. So I've actually used the My Kit Co pencil sharpener to keep the lip line really nice and sharp. And it's also best to keep to slow movements when you're drawing on lip liner. It's just easier and you have a lot more control over where the pencil is going. So the lip product I'm going to use is Fenty Beauty Lip Stunner Lip Paint. This one's called Unbutton. So the colours in terms of the lip pencil and the lip product are super, super contrasting, which is exactly what we want to create, like a full 90s lip. This is a really beautiful peachy colour, and then the lip pencil, as I spoke about before, is more plummy. So I'm just putting it in the centre of the lip, so exactly where I didn't put the lip pencil. I've finished Sia's makeup. I love this matte look so much. I hope you feel inspired by it. If there are any things or any makeup looks that you'd like me to recreate, please let me know in the comments below. Down. down the bottom somewhere around here. Also, I'd love if you could subscribe to my videos. These are something that I'm doing a little bit more of, and I'm loving creating these looks for you. So yeah, hit subscribe so you can see, or you can find out when the new videos are coming out.
And like.
And like too. Yay, thanks. We're gonna get started on... Oh my god! Cool.
Oh my
It's
god.
okay. Okay.